Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock.
I'm having these dreams, and there's this man, and he's burned.
Don't fall asleep.
Never sleep again.
You have nothing to worry about. This won't hurt one little bit.
So guys, this is one that I didn't actually plan on doing this year. And in the process of doing the other two remakes, and eventually I want to do one where I talk about a movie I like I really like, but you haven't seen it in the movies I wanted to talk about. So anyways, we're sitting here and we did the first two. And then Tommy starts going on about Nightmare on Elm Street the remake. So Tommy, just say what you were just saying to me.
Okay.
This is Tommy Manning, by the way. Whenever I do my Halloween videos, my Halloween special, I always write in something special about my friend Tom Manning. This is the guy whose house I egged and all this stuff. I always write something in about him. So this year, I'm not going to be doing like the Halloween like competition special or something like that. I'm going to do a big review at the end of the month. So where I'm not doing the special, this year I've invited Tommy to do some of these movie reviews with me.
I'm not doing very good.
He is doing good, but anyways, just say what you were saying to me about Nightmare on Elm Street before I start actually talking about it.
My thing is, with the new remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, I didn't like the fact that they took Freddy from this. He worked in an oil refinery or some boiler refinery, whatever it was, in the old ones, to working in a daycare or like a kindergarten class as a janitor. And he had like this little secret room downstairs, and I didn't like that. That was kind of a. I know he was a child, like a child killer, and stuff like that in the movies. They made him as a child killer, but this one is kind of like they turned the tables a little bit and kind of played too much on the fact that he was this creepy little, as opposed to a killer that was kind of in your dreams and you couldn't get rid of him even if you try. Like he's in your head, he's in your dreams, but they kind of played too much on that, in my opinion. Right? And in the old ones, they kind of said, oh yeah, well, Freddy was this guy that he was a pedophile or child molester and we killed him. But now they're kind of getting into the whole, this is what we did to kill him, here's how we did it, and kind of tracked him and whatever it is, right? So that's my 2 cents on it. But
I don't know if anything else needs to be said. I think that's perfect.
I think you're full of it. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, another element that I'm going to bring up right away that was a huge problem for me, coming out of the Friday the 13th review where I said a very similar thing about the Friday the 13th remake. Right off the bat, I think they missed the boat on the music.
Yes.
I mean, the Nightmare on Elm Street music is so iconic, and I think they had a little bit of it at the very beginning, like just when they did the intro, they might have played a couple bars from the song, but I thought the music was dreadful. Like the new music was just awful. And I mean, it's not that hard to sample. I mean, like I've watched every Nightmare on Elm Street movie like 1,000 friggin' times.
Yeah.
And like even in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, they changed the music significantly in it, but they keep enough so
Yes.
it remains good.
Yeah.
But the problem with newer movies is horror movies now, they don't believe in like orchestral scores. They believe in these like I forget what it's called.
Synths or, like,
No, it's this whole like I forget what it is. What's the term? Like industrial tones. That's what I
Yeah.
think it's called.
Yeah.
So instead of actually using music, they use these industrial tones, which they think is, more.
wah, 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 yeah, like just whatever it is, or like just.
What is that? Like laugh track?
No,
like
no.
what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to do it. Yeah, I'm bad at sound effects. Anyway, go ahead. I'm trying to do something, but it's.
Tommy's gonna be in the new Police Academy
Yeah.
movie. He plays the sound effects guy.
Yeah, big black guy, Michael Winslow. Winslow? Michael Winslow? Is his name?
I think so. He was in Spaceballs too.
Yeah. Anyway.
But you know what I mean. Like they miss the music, and I mean,
Yes.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched it, but like they didn't play up the whole nursery rhyme thing.
No,
anything. Like
no.
they missed so much of the mystique that the original movie had, and that's what I'll say right there. Like again, the biggest problem with Nightmare on Elm Street is they went for an idea. They went all in on an idea,
They did.
and they missed. That's the thing. So a lot of people will immediately say, well, the problem was Jackie Earle Haley. No one can ever replace Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. I disagree with that. I
Yeah.
thought Jackie Earle Haley
He
did
did
a
pretty good.
fantastic job.
He did good, yeah.
He did a good job playing Freddy. It's not his fault that they wrote a broken Freddy for him.
Yes.
So, before we get into that, though, let's talk about the group of teenagers. I thought it was some terrible acting. The lead character, Rooney Mara, I'm sure she's a fantastic actress, but her character, the new Nancy, was so strange. It was so odd. And maybe it's a disconnect for me because I don't understand the youth of today. I'm 36, so I grew up listening to Guns N' Roses and being normal. We didn't have all these feelings and emotions. If we were in school and someone was mean to us, we went home and sucked it up and got tougher. We didn't go home and talk about our feelings in a blog.
Yeah.
That came later.
Damn internet.
So, I like a lot of the characters I really liked. I like the girl, I forget what her name is. She used to be on the 90210 remake, and she was also on Supernatural for a season. She played Ruby. Who replaced the blonde girl from the first one.
Yeah.
She was good. I thought the male leads were males were good. I thought the opening scene where the guy was asleep and he cut his throat, that was all good. The play between the teenagers, except for the lead character, which is the new Nancy, Rooney Mara, all very good. So there's no issue with that. I love the fact that they were in a diner, started out. That was a great remnants back to Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, where they spent all the time in the diner. Yeah. There was time in a high school, which was a plus. There was time in a cemetery, which is you got to be in a cemetery at least 2 to 3 times in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It's not a Nightmare on Elm Street movie unless there's 2 to 3 cemetery scenes. So there was a lot of things played out really well. Yeah. They missed the music, and I kind of portrayed this whole idea that they went for earlier that they kind of missed on. And that is what we talked about it, their image of what Freddy was.
Yes.
So what they wanted to do was they wanted to create this whole Pied Piper thing with Freddy, which was fine, and they wanted to play it up that instead of Freddy being just this child killer, that, the Springwood slasher, how would you not go back to that? That's what it was iconic for. They went in a different direction that these kids knew each other when they were kids, and the parents covered it up because apparently this guy Fred Krueger worked there, who was the caretaker, and it turns out that the parents thought he molested them. Yeah. So the whole story hinges on them finding out that they all knew each other, that the parents thought they were molested, and that's why they kept it a secret, and them saying, you know what, our parents killed this guy because we were kids and we wrongly accused him. Yeah. And it all led out to the big moment where they found the preschool, they got there, they found his drawings, and it turns out, no, actually, he wasn't wrongly killed. Yeah. He was intentionally killed because he was, in fact, this monster molester. Yeah. So that was the whole big ordeal. And this is the same time that we just came off The Dark Knight, and all these movies were going for the big reveal. Yeah. You remember at the time, G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra came out, and the brother turns out to be Cobra Commander, and it's supposed to be this big reveal. So The Dark Knight came out, and every movie had to have this big, secret reveal, oh! Yeah. And
they missed it.
They missed. Yeah. They just missed on it. Well, they didn't need to change Freddy. Freddy should have stayed the Springwood slasher. Yeah. Freddy, as a character, what Jack Jackie Earl Haley or
Yeah,
Jackie.
Jack Earl Haley, right?
Anyways,
Anyway.
what he did was good. His Freddy was good.
Oh, yeah, he
in my
was a good
opinion.
actor, yes.
No problem with
It was
that.
written the way it was
It's
written.
just the way it was written. It missed just
But
a little
again,
bit.
like you said, they played too much on
On
Fred Krueger. Fred Krueger. They didn't play on Freddy, the demon in your head that.
But I didn't even find it funny. I didn't find it frightening. I found the idea of a guy that probably killed like 300 kids and kept getting away with it, and then got released on a technicality.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But a bunch of like parents who think this guy molested their kids,
Yeah.
running them down and killing
That's
them.
not a frightening
Why? He's not frightening. He's not frightening as a killer. Like it just they missed.
Like,
They wanted to change the backstory too much.
In the old ones, I mean, Freddy would haunt you in your dreams. He'd put you in the boiler room and he'd hear the nails going across the bars, and it was terrifying.
Well,
In this one, I mean,
he tried to make it his own, and I can't say
well,
that.
yeah.
And he had a different thing. Instead of like he did do some of this, and he did the nails like,
chocolate.
but he had the shuffling thing with his nails.
Yeah,
which-
yeah.
That was his thing, right? Like he
kind
made
of
that
like
himself.
Emma Silverhands kind of thing.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, like, but I mean, again, they could have brought back the older elements of that, right? Like, play more of the Freddy Krueger as opposed to the man Fred Krueger. You know what I mean? Like, kind of tell, okay, we might have wrongly accused him, but to me, it was like, I want to say documentary is kind of a bad word, but it was kind of a life story on Fred Krueger. It wasn't Freddy, the killer. It was Fred Krueger, the guy that may have molested some kids.
Yeah, I
Right?
kind
You know what
of
I'm
understand
saying?
what
You
you're
know what I'm
talking about,
saying?
but at
Like-
the same time, I don't understand it all.
Yeah.
So,
It was more of a story of Freddy as opposed to Nightmare on Elm Street.
well, the thing is, like, they missed everything about Freddy. Like, Freddy wasn't trying to kill the kids. Like, he killed some of them, but he wanted to trap his favorite, which was Nancy, so he could just torture her forever because she would always sleep.
Yeah.
And like the micro nap stuff was okay, but not okay.
Yeah.
Like they keep messing up that whole thing about dreaming, and like you remember the original Nancy, like she would die if she didn't sleep for so
Yes.
long.
Yeah.
Anyways, the micro naps are okay, but the whole idea was that he would send her constantly into a REM state of sleep where
Yes.
he could be at her and he could torture her forever.
Yeah.
That was the idea.
Yeah.
That's not Freddy Krueger to me. Freddy Krueger was all about killing. I'm going to kill you and swallow your soul. That's how I get my power.
I'm going to kill you in your sleep.
I'm going to kill you. I want revenge.
Yeah.
But he didn't want revenge. He just wanted to be a pervert again with his favorite, the girl.
Yeah.
Like, it just missed. The whole concept missed.
Yeah. I didn't like the kid thing. Like, they played too much on the, like I said, the
You
fact.
just said that. You're
I know,
talking about the molesting again.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
This is the point where Tom Pellicci's a parent. I don't like molesting.
No, I'm not saying that. But I mean, to me, Freddy Krueger is, yes, in the first one they talk about Freddy, but in the second ones is where he starts playing with your mind and trying to, like, you know what I mean? He's more in your head as opposed to a person, if that makes any sense to you. I'm trying to get my words out. I can't figure out what I'm going to say, but to me, I didn't.
Are you talking about his evolution into being a true dream demon as
Yes,
opposed to this?
yes, yeah.
Okay, I kind of understand what you're saying there, and you felt that it was too much the man in this
Yes,
movie as
and not
opposed
the demon.
to
Not the demon. Yeah, right.
Excuse me. Yeah.
They're trying to clear his name and all that. Like, they're trying to say, well, did he actually molest us? Kind of thing. I didn't.
Well,
They got too much into
a
that.
lot of the problems with any remake is the fact that we don't want the backstory told again.
No.
And they feel like they've always got to rehash the backstory.
I think what it is they're trying to get to the newer generation, tell the story to the new generation. But any horror movie, I guess, lover would know the story of Freddy or know some basic concepts of Freddy.
But here's the other thing too, like the way that they, like, I'm a Hollywood exec. This is how I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna make another on Elm Street, and like the fans are really excited. But what about the demographic that we don't have? How do we appeal to them? And what about the 19 to 25 demographic? They like what is it? This emo type stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll have an emo and
they're all doing Google searches on their phones.
These aren't fans.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand that at its core, this is not a bunch of people making a fan movie. This is a bunch of people trying to make a movie that will make money. And people forget this sometimes. Horror movies, the reason why there was so many is because they were dirt cheap to make, and they made a fortune back in the 80s and 90s, like really early 90s.
Yeah.
So, like, they'd make a Friday the 13th for $10,000 that would make, like $20 million.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to make tons of them. That's why we have 8 or 9. It's not because they, went out and they said, we got to give the fans what they want.
No.
They said, how do we make as much money as possible?
cheap as possible.
So, to us, and being hardcore fans, like, we want another Nightmare on Elm Street, we just want more.
Yeah.
But the problem is, even when they remake it, they've got to tell some of the backstory to try to engage people that haven't seen it. They have to make a product that's open to all demographics. That's the problem.
And
That's why it misses so many times.
Yeah, they're trying to modernize it.
Yeah.
They're trying to modernize a cult classic, and depending on who does it, it can either flop or fly. It can take off and soar.
Can it flip flop or fly? I like to think I can flip flop or fly.
I hate you. But no, like I said, like I mean, they can like I said, we talked about the Rob Zombie one. That was a complete utter bust, right? Because Rob Zombie took it and wrote it and completely blew it, right? This one could have been so much better if they had to have a few more key aspects of the original movie in it.
I didn't say it was horrible.
No, I didn't say it was horrible. I'm not saying horrible.
Like again,
It
I
could be
feel
better.
like Rob Zombie's Halloween. I don't like.
No,
I don't like it
no,
all.
no.
To me, there's no redeeming qualities.
But
of
and
Rob
again, I
Zombie's
didn't say I didn't like Nightmare.
But both Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, I think Friday the 13th was a better movie.
Yes.
Nightmare on Elm Street was good too. It's just they, like I said, they went
Missed
for
the mark.
something and they miss.
Yeah. Like I said, it could be better, but again, it was I didn't say I didn't like it, but
Yeah.
there could have been things that they could.
But there is a huge thing that we need to all be thankful in this one. Freddy wasn't 7 foot tall.
No,
You know what?
no.
Of the 3 remakes,
He was smallest, wasn't he?
He was actually smaller than
5 foot tall,
Yeah,
really.
well, Jackie Earle Haley is what, like, I think he's like 3'8".
4'2".
3'8". He was the original Dink, Doink the Clown's Dink. What? No, he was. No, he was. He really was.
Let's say that. No, but no. No, he was like 5'4", 5'5".
Yeah, I will give him credit for that. Like what I found funny though was the reason why they were changing was they wanted to, like, it is hard to get that makeup. Like I've heard Robert Englund say
5,
like
6 hours
he spent
in a
like
chair.
10, 11 hours in a chair
Oh,
before he
really?
could even
Okay.
like he'd have to get up like 4 a.m. to start getting makeup and like sleep through his makeup and everything to get it done. So I mean, after a while, like that's gotta be hard on you, hard on your skin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like they talked about getting a younger actor to play Jason. Play Freddy, a younger actor to play Freddy.
Yeah.
Then they get Jackie Earle Haley, who's like 50 himself. I was like, well, you went for something and you missed the mark. I know why they did it. It was right after Watchmen, where he had just played Rorschach.
Yes.
And like everybody was nuts about his performance of Rorschach. Like he fantastic.
Yeah, it was good.
So like I don't think the casting was bad in any capacity.
Oh, no.
And thank you for not being 7 foot tall.
Or a big grunky monster.
Thank you
Yeah.
for at least understanding that
Yes.
Freddy doesn't need to be 7 foot tall.
Yes, thank you. But again, like I said, it was the acting was great. The movie was good in general, but again, there could be some things that they could.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like I really wanted to wrap this up, but there is one other thing I have to say about it. Did you see how they explained his finger gloves instead of it just being this? You know, like you remember in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 6,
see
Freddy's
him
dead,
making- yeah.
and you see all the different machinations of him trying to
Yeah.
make some kind of weapon, like that would be a torture device, something really cool. In this one, the only reason he has the finger claws is because he was a gardener and he had gardening shears. And like this is the way he gardened too. It was like, I'm gonna get you, kids. I'm gonna get you.
Give me a drink of ice.
That explains it. That's why the movie flopped right there. I'm gonna get you.
Flip-flop.
I'm gonna get you with my garden glove. Anyways, see you guys.
See you guys.